Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue right on with our 1966 Chevy 1-ton dually. So yeah, I thought we'd get in the interior, give it a little bit of the weird beard treatment. It is awful in there. We're going to pull the seat out, get it shampooed and all of that. And then probably move on to the clutch, see if we can get the clutch worked out. We have no clutch at all. This thing doesn't move at all. So we did get it running on the last video, but we couldn't get it to move yet. So let's see if we can get that ironed out. Pretty gross in there. We got a lot of cleaning to do. We're going to scrape all of this out of here. Pull the seat out. Clean underneath it. There's all kinds of grossness going out of there. Look at all of that. Pretty nasty. Shouldn't take too much. Air ratchet, some sockets. Got a little brush. That for the air compressor in case we need to blow any air out. Got the shop vac. And we got the pressure washer. So shouldn't give us too much trouble. We're going to start off by getting all the big stuff out. Probably be smart if I put this up somewhere where it won't get messed up. Let's put it over on the old workbench. There was a few things here and there we're going to want to hold on to, like the signal light switch. This has got something in it. Looks like some old spark plugs. Might not need that, but these old bolts and stuff, we'll go ahead and gather them up. We don't want to suck them up in a vacuum cleaner. Over here we found the headlight switch and the locking thing that holds it on, you know. So we'll save that, don't want to lose that. I think these are the screws that hold that instrument cluster in. Let's see. Yeah, we'll save all of these. We'll definitely want to save this. This is the gas pedal mechanism. We'll need that. Pretty sure we got our money's worth out of the old air freshener there. We'll get rid of that. It actually smells like the truck. I think it's supposed to be the other way around. That's one big ass lock washer. All right, so we got a lot of the loose crap out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the seat out. That was a little bitty guy there. I think that's it. I think that's going to free it up. Yep. And actually bolted the seat belts in. Look at that. All right, we'll have to unbolt that center seat belt. See if we can push this on out the door. We'll go over to the other side and drag it out. It's trying to rain on us, y'all. Up on here. That's a fuzzy dice. That's stuck to the bottom of this. That's a fuzzy dice. What the hell? So aside from fuzzy dice, we got a brand new negative cable there. That's nice. That's a score. Some sort of gaskets that aren't no good anymore. Still no ignition switch. We were hoping to find one in here somewhere. I don't see it. Well, we'll just set this thing off out here in the rain. Maybe pour some cleaner on it. Let it soak. Get some purple power or something in there. Some more of this big stuff out of here. No idea. Split shot. Oh, these are weights for fishing. Fishing weights, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty gross in here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this entire mat out of here. Let's roll that over this way. What is some kind of, oh, that's some kind of a seat spring, I guess. Probably for the I think it's for the old spring, or the old seat rather. So we don't need that anymore. Let's throw that away. All right, let's switch sides. Golly, this thing is just full of nests. Pretty gross. There's the rest of that spring right there. Guess that's gonna stay there for now. Hey, here's a key, but that looks like a key to a piece of equipment like a bulldozer or something. Ain't no telling, but it definitely doesn't go to this. Let's drag this out. It's going to be a big improvement just having all that mess out of here. Pour this over here. Majority of this stuff scooped up into a bag here. That way it's not going into my vacuum cleaner or my yard. Pretty nasty. Some more of this old sound bending material. Get this old crap out of here. I think so. I had the seat soaking out here in the rain. It's actually working out pretty good. I'm gonna spray the floor down with this, that same stuff we sprayed on the seat, the old Purple Power, and I think I'm gonna hit it up with a hose at first. Seems like that'll probably be enough. I don't even think we really even need the pressure washer in here, but we'll start off doing this and see how that works out. How about that? It's pouring down rain. I'm trying to not drag all my stuff out in the rain, you know what I mean? So. Actually working out pretty good. Just rubbing it like that, you know? Looks like it's going to bring that orange paint right back to life. Oh my God, look how bright that is. Hell, that's working out so good. I might just leave the pressure washer out of this one. Loving that paint coming back to life like that. It's kind of cool. A lot of that old sound deadening mat's just breaking right up, falling off. Notice just a little bit of rust over in this area on both sides. Nothing really bad. You can see a little hole there starting to peek through, but nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, that's for sure. Very minimal for its age. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this loose stuff off of here. So you see, I mean, if it's gonna come out with just your brush, then you know that stuff is ready to go. So let's just go ahead and get it on out of here. Broke the scraper out. Back to where it's good again. Any of the loose stuff we'll get rid of. I think that's about it on the loose stuff. The rest of the stuff's held on pretty good, and we'll leave it. Well, we're getting somewhere now. Look at the difference between this side and that side. That's cleaning up pretty good, actually. I'm just going to keep scrubbing on it. And I'm kind of doing this on purpose just to show some of y'all that you don't necessarily need all that fancy equipment. I mean, it's nice to have. But look at this. We're doing this with a water hose, cleaner you buy down at Walmart, and a scrub brush. And this thing is cleaning up great. Some of our wiring here out of the way. All that's getting redone, y'all, so don't worry too much about it. I'll get all kinds of comments talking about how you can't get it all wet. It's all coming out of there. We gotta replace all of that, so not exactly worried about it. I just want to get this nastiness out of here because it's not good to be breathing this stuff. So we don't want all this blowing around when it comes time to drive this thing. We're going to be getting this thing running real soon. I want to take it down the road. I don't want none of this stuff in my nose, so I'm getting it out of here. And the smell that came with it, it's all gone. We're getting it out of here. So the rain stopped. I got my pressure washer outside now. That seat's going to take some serious attention. I don't think we could get by with just scrubbing it. So we're going to hit it with a high pressure. I'll give you guys a little before and after. Went ahead and left you a big dirty spot. That's what it was before, and look at this. This is all afterwards. Of course, we did the back of it now. I'm gonna finish rinsing it off, but man, it's turning out pretty good. Well, okay, after all that scrubbing and everything, this is what we came up with. Not too shabby. It actually looks pretty clean in here. I found the wire that goes over to the gas gauge. It was tucked off down in there, so got that hooked up. All I'm gonna do is hook the ground up to it, and that'll be fine. Not to worry, this seat leans forward, so putting the seat back in won't interfere with any of that. We can do that anytime, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in and show you guys how it turned out. Like that. Well, there it is with the seat in it. Turned out pretty good. How y'all like my repurposed hat holder? That turned out to make a pretty good ring light holder. So now that we got it all cleaned up, I figured we would get in there and get the clutch straightened out. For those of you that don't know, this is a 66 cab sitting on like a 71, 72 Chevy 1-ton frame. So nothing's lining up. So I figure after a little bit of cutting, welding, grinding, a few modifications in the right place, we ought to have a clutch. Now, it's worth mentioning that I don't know the condition of this transmission at all. I don't know if the clutch is any good. I don't know anything about it. I've got to get everything hooked up first before we can even find all of that out. So, fingers crossed, man, this transmission's good. So I'm in here looking at this thing, and I'm noticing that the rod is still hooked up. You see it over here? That's what's going up and down as I move that pedal. That's good news. That means we don't have to sit and try to figure out any kind of linkages or anything. All I got to do is tie that in with what we have underneath. So up underneath here, go ahead and push it. That's the rod right there. When you push down on the clutch pedal up top, that rod goes up. What we need to happen here is, watch when I push this lever right here. This rod right here pushes, and that's what engages the clutch right there, just like that. So we got some things here that don't mesh up, you know what I mean? So go ahead and let off. Obviously we need this to go backwards, so I need something to kind of pull up on it, I would think. So what I'm thinking is maybe we'll take this and move it around to a different spot. Maybe we'll take this and bring it around over to the other side, and then that way when you push the pedal and this goes up, it will swing this and engage our clutch. What do you think? So a slight little modification there. So let's go ahead and get this piece out. Let's get it all cleaned up. It actually just comes right off of here. All of this comes right out. Got a little pin right there holding that piece on, and then this is gonna slip right out of here. I did it a minute ago. It's kind of hard to do everything one-handed, but bear with me. There we go. It came out of there. See if we can pull this out without smacking myself in the face. And we'll get it all cleaned up and ready to weld on. I think I'll just use my angle grinder, a little wire brush, get these from Harbor Freight, really cheap. Ought to knock the grease right off of this thing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull the wheel out of the way. That bracket that we're needing to modify and weld and do all that is just right inside of there. So this will definitely free up some space. Yeah, check it out, right in here. So now we got a unobstructed path is what I'm trying to say. Found this guy hanging around. That's the emergency brake cable. We'll need to run that up inside the cab too so it could be hooked back up. So this right here is the bracket off of the 1960 frame. You see where it's been trimmed off there. Right here is the bracket on the 1970 frame. So basically I need to weld the 1960 bracket right here in this same general area. Unfortunately, this rivet right here is in the way, so when I set this on here, it's just kind of wobbling around all over the place. So I'm going to remove that to give myself a nice flat surface to put that bracket on. So I've got my bracket clamped into position. I just want to test this and make sure that I can remove this bracketry, this whole mechanism. This all has to be removable and adjustable and all that stuff. So I didn't want to weld the bracket in the wrong place and then have this be stuck in there. I'm going to tack weld this bracket in for now, and then once we know everything is working freely, nothing's binding up or anything, then we'll finish weld it. So from what I could tell, everything's going to work out except for this bracket right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And all we got to do is just reclock it to a different position, re-weld it. It ought to work fine. Yeah, just did a little trimming right there. We'll get this piece of the sheet metal folded down out of the way, and we're just kind of trying to elongate that hole just a little bit so this doesn't rub on it anymore. Got that part of the floor folded out of the way, and got this rod kind of bent where I think I need it to go. I think we're heading in the right direction. So the rod hooked to the clutch pedal. You see we've got it over here on this side of the bracket now. Before it was over there and it would not work. And so now we could take this, probably trim it down. I think it's too long, but we could put it over here on this side of that bracket. Obviously, see how it's too long. We'll trim it down, probably maybe drill another hole in it. I don't really know just yet. But over on this side is where it'll need to go. And then obviously the rod there will hook right into it. And then when you pull the pedal, it should engage this clutch. You see here, all it's got to do is pull it, and that happens. So I think we got it figured out. So I think we might be able to use this hole. We'll just cut the end of it off where it was hitting the floorboard, and I think we'll be good to go. So here's our new piece going to go on. We'll stick it on the end of the rod there like that. And that's going to swing back over here to this. And we'll tack that back on, and then we'll go push the pedal and make sure it works before we finish weld. We're going to have to do a little modification to this bracket. I need to cut this off in a straight line, get rid of all of this. And this is designed, this has a flat edge on it. It's supposed to go through the hole there and then lock into place so it doesn't spin, so that you can screw the nut on the end of it. But it's wallered out so bad that this thing just sits here and spins. It's really hard to mess with and tighten up, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that too while we're at it. That got hot in a hurry. Figured I better stop and get a board out before everybody starts getting on to me. Look, I already nicked my table here. Yeah, I can see it now in the comment section. See, Weird Beard, this is why we can't have nice stuff. I'm sure most of y'all know that this is actually not a workbench. It is a parts washer. And but it does double as a workbench most of the time. Kind of the same way this jack doubles as my camera stand. Works pretty good. I just stick you guys right there. That way you guys got kind of a bird's eye view of what's going on. So, whoa, that is still hot. Imagine that. I'm going to take my flapper disc here over my other grinder. Now that we got rid of that, that's all we're trying to do is get rid of the 90-degree angle. Don't need that anymore. We'll dress this up, and I should be able to drop that right on top of the frame. Run a nice bead down both sides of it, and it'll be right where I need it to be. We'll bring this over here to the welder. I'm gonna weld that hole shut and just start over with a new one. That thing's so wallered out, it just not working right. That'll work. Let's get it ready for its new hole. There we go. Always a good idea to start off with the smaller bit and then just kind of work your way up a little bit at a time. This way you're not tearing up your drill bits, you know, and it goes through like butter. I mean, look how easy that went through. Super easy, and I'm not tearing up my bits at the same time, you know what I mean? And I know it takes a little bit longer, but not as long as having to go to the store and buy more bits, right? Now, I know most of you guys know all that, but you never know. Might have a young person watching that's not aware of that, and they try to start off with the big ones, you know, just go full bore, and they're trying to figure out why ain't this working. Well, just start off with smaller bits, and I think you'll have it. I think that's as far as we need to go right there. I think we're fitting on here. Yeah, look at that. That is that's a perfect fit. That ought to do us good right there. So this is how this is going to work. This actually goes up in here and fits on that little, you guys see this right here? This fits right on the end of that, like so. Okay, and then this side of the bracket over here is going to go right there on the frame, like that. Get a couple tacks on it. We'll put us another one on out here for good measure. Now, the idea behind tack welds is you want to weld it good enough that it'll hold, but not so good that you can't knock it back out with a hammer in case you got something in the wrong place, right? Something like that. So yeah, once we put this guy right here, it goes right there, and then it'll go inside of this little bracket. Just like that. That's all lining up really nice. Look at that. Cool. So we'll have to do something with our spring. I don't really like its location. It was going over here up into the frame right down here. We may end up putting it back there. The key is to keep it out of the way of all of this stuff. So anyway, it's serving its purpose for now. As you can see, everything is lining up really good, and now we just got to figure out this next piece, and that'll be this one. I need this to go on here somewhere, and then it's going to go on the end of that rod just like that, that goes up to the clutch pedal itself. So we'll figure out where that needs to go on, and we'll get a few little tack welds on it. And again, we're trying to be careful not to weld it too good. We don't want to be in here with a grinder for 2 hours trying to grind this stuff out just because we need to move it a little 1/4 of an inch one way or another, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we want it to be good enough that I can actually get in there and test it and make sure everything's flowing together, you know what I mean? We don't want anything binding up or any of that mess. So I think I got this thing positioned right where I need it. Let's find out. I'm on fire. Oh my God. Oh, that's the gift that keeps on giving right there. Ah, it's still burning. Dang, just burned a hole in my brand new shirt. This right here is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. That is not in the right spot. I need that moved just a slight little bit. So she's coming back out. We're going to try it again. Want to take just a second to kind of admire this old truck and just how clean it is underneath. I mean, look at this thing. These are the cab mounts here, rust free. The behind the rocker panels, all rust free. Look at the floor, the rear back there at the cab mounts at the rear. Everything is rust free on this, man. This thing is in really good shape. Even over here on the passenger side, look at the cab mounts. That is all rust free, really good. No big holes nowhere. Same thing on the back of the rocker and that rear cab mount back there. Same thing, man. It's all rust free. So everything is tacked. I believe everything's in the right spot this time. Let's try it out. Push down on the clutch pedal. I didn't hear anything popping loose. Well, as you can see, I mean, everything seems to be functioning just fine. Nothing's binding, nothing's rubbing against each other. I do think I'm going to move that spring somewhere else, but I think we're safe. I think we could go in and go ahead and finish weld everything and put our cotter pins in and all that good stuff. We'll shoot this with a little bit of grease, and I think we'll be good to go. So now that my finished welding's done, I'm going to go in here and just dust a little black spray paint on, just cheap stuff from Walmart. Just something to kind of help keep it from rusting since it's all bare metal now. Alright, that's it, man. I got it all welded up, putting the new cotter pins in. Something like that. That's it, man. Everything is in and everything is working just like it's supposed to. Well, alright, so here's the moment of truth. Let's fire this thing up and see if it moves. Hopefully we'll get lucky on this. The way I've been doing this, in case you missed it on the last video, we just hook our hot wire up. We don't have our ignition switch just yet, so I'm just kind of hot wiring this thing for now. So yeah, there's my hot wire there. That runs over to the distributor and gives a spark. And then this one goes down to the starter, and when we touch it on that positive cable, it will crank. So let's pour a little fuel in there. That should do it. Give it a couple pumps. And then we will hit the trigger here. We'll give it just a second to warm up, and then we'll get in there and see if it goes into gear. Looks like we got a little leak on our oil pressure gauge, dripping down on the old gas pedal. That ain't good. Alright, let's get up in here, see what happens. Alright, clutch is engaged. Come on, fingers crossed. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Nope. Oh, she ain't going, y'all. Well, damn. We should have known. In fact, the old boy that dropped it off, for some reason he made mention that I'm not sure the condition of the transmission, but I do have an automatic you could throw in it. And it's like, why is he even bringing that up? Well, I guess now we know. That automatic doesn't interest me. I would really like to get this transmission going. It's a 4-speed, y'all. 4-speed granny, I do believe. And I'd like to keep that in there and forget about that old automatic stuff. Automatic, we're going to end up having to do drive shaft modifications. We'll have to probably do a cross member modification and all that. Not really interested. I think this old truck would be way cooler with a 4-speed granny. So I imagine we're going to have to just pull this transmission out and see what's up with the clutch. If it even has one left, it could just be completely smoked. We don't know yet. But that is for another video. This video is getting long, and you know, most guys probably would have just left you with the pressure washing, but I wanted to go a step further and see if we could get a little bit of work done on it. And hey, you know what? That clutch is fine as far as what we did to it. It has all of its travel, so it's nothing that we did wrong. It's just, I think the clutch itself is just completely gone out of it. It's wore out, man. I mean, this thing is old. Sure runs good though, that's for sure. And it's cleaning up pretty well too, man. That is a far cry from what we started out with at the beginning of this video, am I right? So anyway, man, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I do appreciate you guys watching. Hey, would you do me a favor and go check and make sure you're subscribed to the channel? You may think you are, but for whatever reason, YouTube likes to unsubscribe people to channels without even telling them. And you'll think you're subscribed and come to find out you're not. So if you guys could check that for me, I do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, man, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We got a lot of new subscribers. I feel like I'm kind of switching my audiences a little bit. I know a lot of you guys are here to watch me flip cars, and we ain't really been flipping lately. And we've been doing more of the old stuff, which I enjoy a lot more, to be honest with you. And I appreciate everybody that's stuck around and been watching these videos as well. And don't worry, you know, we'll flip cars. We'll get another flip car in here, not a problem. But for now, this is what we're doing, and I do appreciate everybody that's hitting the subscribe button and sticking around, man. But I'm gonna get on out of here for now. This video is getting too long. I'll see you guys next time.